honestly, I've been around for over 50 years. I don't. God's blessed us, but that's not about our goodness. That's about His. So we have all of this stuff. But it's not because we've worked so hard or so successfully, but it's because God has chosen to bless us. And if you ask me why, I'm going to give you the intelligent answer. I don't know. I really don't. I do know this, that because He's blessed me beyond measure, I have a responsibility to take that and to give and to be generous and to be joyful, and rather than to clench my fist and to hold on, to distribute liberally. I do know that, because with all that God's given me, I've got a responsibility, and I need to be giving. Does that make sense? Okay? Because He didn't give it to me because I deserve it. Here's the other thing. Entitlement. And this, you got to understand, billions, literally tens of billions of dollars are spent every year by American companies. You know what for? To make you want something that you don't have. Why? So you will buy it from them. Yeah. You didn't think you needed that new truck until you what? Saw it on TV. So I want to show you, okay, General Motors spends 1 year $4.2 billion. What for? To get in your head and get in your heart so you want their vehicle, whether it be their car or their truck. So if you're there and you have this passion for General Motors, it's the devil. No, just kidding. I'm kidding. Ford spends $3.9 billion. So it's still the devil. Just not as bad as GM. I'm kidding. But I mean, how many of us can even conceive of $3.9 billion anything? Right? Leaves in my yard yesterday. I mean, yeah, we're not even close. All right? AT&T, $2.9 billion. All right? Walmart and Verizon, $2.5 billion. Yeah, man, I know they spend all that money, but it's not effective. Oh, really? Name the company. Can you hear me now? Name the company. Can you hear me now? That's Verizon, right? Nothing beats that new car smell. He got 2 for 1 on that. What company? Nationwide Insurance. Do you see how effective this is? Hey, I'm going to really reach back. Now, you youngsters, you probably won't even remember this one. Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. Special orders don't upset us. All we ask is that you let us have it your way. You know, nobody wanted to admit that they were old enough to remember that. I have not heard that thing for decades, but I still remember it. So don't try to tell me that advertising is not successful and effective, right? I mean, what is it? Is it Ram Tough or Ford Tough? It's Ford Tough, right? That's it. It's Ram Tough and Ford Built. Whatever it is. But do you see how effective this is? Now, I've got a DVR. I don't sit around and watch commercials. I'm like, I don't start a football game until I'm well into it so I can get past halftime and all that. You know, I use that DVR. Man, but I still remember all this stuff because they still get enough at me that I remember it. And so, I mean, if you remember any of those, does anybody remember any other real famous and popular commercials? Which one is it? Oh, the gum? Red Robin? Oh, bam. Yeah. But see, this is what's crazy, is that we remember this stuff. And so what's happened is that you remember probably more from the billions they spent than the time I've spent trying to talk to you over the years. Now, part of that is because I'm just not as good as they are, and I can accept that. You know? But here's the thing, is that they get into your head, and the whole point of them getting into your head is that they want to create a desire in you. They want you to want what they have so that you will spend your money to get it. And they are so successful in planting that idea that they're willing to take over $4 billion of what we spend to throw it into commercials because they can double their money. How? By manipulating us into wanting things that we don't need. True? And so we're this society, and we're getting pounded every day that you must have this. You need this. That somehow if you spend this money, since it's less money at this place, that you've actually saved money instead of spending money. I'm sorry, you took 15% off. I still spent $170. But the way they word it, well, you have saved $70. It's like you came home with $70 more in your pocket, plus stuff that you're going to throw away in 18 months. It's insane. But we get caught up in thinking that way. And don't act like you don't do it, because you do. And so do I. And I catch myself at it. And I'm like, I've got everything I could possibly want. I don't need anything. Matter of fact, I need to throw away a bunch. The hoarders are like cringing right now. All right? But this is the thing. Don't be looking at your spouse. Stop it right now. I don't have enough time to do that much marriage counseling. All right? So, and we won't even go into Black Friday. I've already pounded on that. But joy sucker. How about this envy? I got to keep up with the Joneses. So-and-so's got a better vehicle than I do. I mean, would I like that, big overpowered diesel? Yes. Do I need it? No. My truck's paid for. Amen. Runs great. I'm happy. So here's the thing, though. And this is what's sad, is because have you noticed that there's this real major thing about hating the rich? Somehow, because I don't have as much as somebody else, and they have like an abundance, that I have a right to think less of them. Yeah. See, now I'm stepping on some folks, because I can tell that some folks are just like, wait a minute. But let me define envy for you. Okay? Hating others for their good fortune or willingness to bury themselves in debt. I want to remind you of one last commercial. How many of you remember where, this is Bob. He has the perfect house. He has the perfect yard. And there he is, and his kids are playing, and he's perfectly dressed. And he looks at you like he just got missed by a freight train, and his eyes are big and vacant. And he says, and I'm up to my eyeballs in debt. Somebody help me. Anybody remember that commercial? I wanted to look it up, and I ran out of time. But the thing is that all too often that we're wanting to keep up with the Joneses, and they are just like Bob. I am so in debt. Can somebody help me? Yes. And yet the debtor is a slave, or the borrower is a slave to the one to whom he's borrowed from. There is nothing that you can do that is wiser than eliminating debt from your life. And the wisest debt that you can eliminate from your life is credit card debt. The wisest debt that you can eliminate from your life is credit card debt. I don't have that in your notes. That is worth writing down, that the wisest debt you can eliminate from your life is credit card debt. The more debt you eliminate, the freer you will be. And for my wife and I, we finally started to where we're paying our truck payments now because we know it's going to wear out. So we're paying our truck payments now so that when it's time to go and buy a new truck, that we do it with cash. Can I hear an amen? Well, all right. But this is the deal. All too often, because we are so caught up in envy and keeping up and want, that we end up in debt for things that we really don't need. And then we're slaves and we're upset and we're frustrated and we get mad because we can't do the things we want to do. But it's because we buried ourselves in debt. And so now we're paying double, triple for it. Does that sound smart to anybody? I'm trying to get there. We go. And so here's the deal, and this is part of what happens and how envy and entitlement steal their joy from you, is it comes down to is what is it really that we're living for? I mean, really, what are you really living for? What is really important to you? Because, see, that's what we invest ourselves in. And I mean, we work hard to take good care of money. We do that as a church, and we do that as a family. But I'll tell you what, money does not solve the important issues of life. Are you with me? Have you ever noticed that a lot of people that have the most want more? And a lot of people that have far less than us seem to be far more content with what they have? Anybody notice that? Isn't there something to that, you think? And so this is, I'm going to end on this. I'm going to show you a video. Here's what we lose. We lose our sense of wonder. We need to recover that. I think sometimes life sends us disappointments. People aren't always right or fair or just, and that's the way life is. And in that, it steals from us. I mean, how many of you got like, different holidays that you remember growing up and they're just delightful memories when you were a kid? Okay. Now, Danielle and I, we're very annoying during the holidays. Well, we're really annoying early in the morning because we're early morning people. And so we're really happy first thing in the morning. And so, we're like, and if you're really like a bummer in the morning and you're like, you don't want us around you, you will hate us. Okay? I don't apologize for that. I love mornings, and so does she. The other thing is both of us revert to small children during the holidays. And so I literally went over to my daughter's house. They were putting up the Christmas tree, and Justin's working away, and Danielle's singing and dancing around the house. She's making hot chocolate. It's 50 degrees out. She's handing me hot chocolate with marshmallows. It was perfect, and I'm helping Justin put up the Christmas tree, and he's like, yeah, okay. And so, but, we're doing all this, and it's because he loves her. But it's really crazy because, we have so many good memories associated around the holidays, and part of that was because when you're kids, you didn't realize what it took for your parents to put the stuff under the tree, And I mean, how many of you just got these, like, just incredibly, amazingly cool, recollections of childhood and growing up and different holiday times? Go ahead and be honest. Yeah. So, see, at least half of us are really annoying in the holidays. To those of you who are bah humbugs, but we don't care because we're having fun. And obviously you are not. So who's really winning? So, but in the midst of this, in the midst of all of this, though, and I want, but life has a tendency, and we can allow it to take away that sense of wonder. And life holds disappointments and awakenings and all of that for us. But I tell you what, that if we choose to believe in the God of the universe, the way Jesus recommends,